look at what's going on with the gold price. As we already know, obviously gold has been ripping up continuously, not even really coming back to these big, large areas of demand just yet. Even this gap right here has been left. This is probably my number one spot right now for a macro or swing long, is to come back down and fill this gap, then go higher. Well, we have some levels getting hit while we're going to do this. Let's go down to the 30-minute real quick. We did see a nice Model 2 Wyckoff accumulation here, and you had a nice back test. You had a 1 hour order block right here. Even if you would have just taken it as that, put your stop at the bottom of the block and targeted the high, would have been almost a 6R trade. However, you could have even refined this even further. So that's usually what I do. I don't necessarily like to take it right off of the block itself. I like to take even finer entries. It also had a nice structure change coming out of here and a retest on this fair value gap. Could have taken it that way, or you could have taken it from this small demand here and just set a limit order because it's a high probability trade because of the Model 2. Now that we've reached that target, let's go back to the 15. We can see that we have swept liquidity of the range high. We had a swing failure pattern, and coming down to this order block, it's a lower time frame order block or 15-minute fair value gap. Let's see. Maybe we can actually catch a trade here. Looks like it's back testing the supply as we speak. But remember, this thing is extremely bullish right now. So this is a little bit more of a counter trend trade. I would have rather gotten long here. However, it could come back down. We did sweep this high time frame level liquidity. I would like to see it come revisit this demand down here and continue this line of liquidity, or break beyond this, have a back test, and then sweep all this liquidity. And there is also a possibility of this turning into a bigger Wyckoff model, this being tap 1, tap 2, and we come down and hit a tap 3, and this actually turns into a higher time frame Model 1. So we will wait to see. That might take a while for that to play out. Let's see if we can see any microstructure in here break down. I don't necessarily like to use the seconds charts unless we have a lot of confluence and something like an accumulation model. This one is not that great, even though we swept the highs here. I would prefer to come down further for a long. Yeah, just to create a better, higher probability. And as far as a short right here, again, I'm not really opening many shorts because I don't prefer to counter trend trade unless we have something backing that up. The markets are quite bullish right now. ES and NQ are still on a rip up as well. Bitcoin the same. So everything's just kind of ripping up at the moment. So until we break some bigger structure, I'm not going to take a short. And let's see what the 15-minute structure here is. Man, you really don't have any structure in this premium section. Highest time frame that you have as far as structure that I would call high probability would be your 5-minute here. This is your confirmed low. So right now we need to break this low. So I would want this to come down, break that low, then come back up to mitigate some kind of supply here or around that area for further downside to sweep all of this liquidity. So it's really about being patient, and it's a little bit boring when we're playing a bigger range like this until you can get your confirmation set up. Now coming down to 1 minute time frame. You don't really have anything here notable either. I guess this would be your last 1 minute low here. You did break that. It looks like you did come back into the supply, but you swept that liquidity. Since it's the first break of this structure, I would rather it come down here. Let's break this and then look for a long, hopefully from a tinier order block and not such a big section of supply. But I would like to see what was this? This was I would prefer it to flip this, to be honest with you. So this demand right here, I would like to see a flip of this demand. We could flip this first, which would be great, but ultimately it's just a smaller area of demand. And right now I could see this thing just going higher. But if we do decide to come down here, we get a rejection off that demand, and then we decide to take it and turn it into supply, rejecting off that supply. So I want to see a reaction that the demand is holding, and then that the demand weakens and gets taken. And then with the supply creation, we can take a trade from the supply. So right now we're still kind of waiting in the wings of the tariff news this afternoon. So I can kind of see this continuing on the upside until we get some bearish news, or potentially things don't come out as bearish as thought and we really start ripping up even more. And this was your last accumulation before new highs are put in again. So we'll have to wait and see. We'll keep our eyes on this. If I take a trade, I'll do a trade recap and try to take it live and just show you all how I do some entries and targets, and we'll take it from there.